Hi YouTube, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can find me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. I know it's been a while since I shot any videos. Things have been kind of wild around my house. I've been having an awful lot of projects outside the shop, so I haven't been doing a whole lot of knife work or doing a whole lot of videos lately, but things should settle down here pretty soon and I'll get back to it. Got some exciting projects coming up, a couple of batches of slip joints, toggle locks, axis locks, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do after that, but it'll be fun no matter what it is. So tonight I got a instant message from a friend on Facebook saying that he was having problems with his razor, his straight razor, and shaving with it. And so in talking to him a little bit, it got me thinking, you know, I know I need to go ahead and do like a full straight razor, you know, series, you know, from making them, honing them, stropping, shaving, you know, all that kind of stuff. But this one right here, I'm going to go ahead and do first because so far I've found that besides mechanical type damage, you know, dropping your razor, you know, having somebody pick up the razor and cut newspaper or something else like that with it, you know, that the biggest reason why people are having problems with their straight razors has to do with how you clean them and how you store them. If you want to, you can go back and take a look at my one of my other videos. I think it was edge corrosion underneath the microscope, something like that, where I take the new stereo microscope and I show what corrosion looks like on the edge of a razor underneath that microscope. And you know, I've got the big TV out so you can really see it, and it looks really cool. That happens on high carbon steel razors and on stainless steel razors, or at least mine anyways. I've seen that on just about all of the vintage razors that I have, and I think I've got like, I don't know, 50 or 80 of them, something around there. I've seen it on a brand new Dovo, you know, mine out of 1095 W1 440C stainless, and 15N20 and 1095 pattern welded steel. So as far as I can tell, it happens to all of them, stainless or not. And what it has to do with is how you treat the razor after the shave. Okay, so everybody always talks about what you do before the shave, but what you do after the shave is this. After the shave that you do this morning, everything you do after that shave is still prep work for tomorrow's shave. So after the shave and before the shave is kind of the same deal. Just, you know, a time frame has passed. So anyway, so what I've been noticing talking to people is it's the aftershave part that they're having problems with, and that's causing problems for the shave the next day. And that's corrosion and properly drying them. Now, I'm not going to do this in the bathroom. I mean, there's plenty of guys on YouTube shooting videos of themselves in the bathroom shaving. I'd kind of really rather not do that. So we'll just do it out here in the shop. Okay, so, you know, let's say it's this morning and I decide I'm going to pick out which razor I'm going to shave with. I have 5 of them on my stand in on the dresser in my bedroom. Never ever store your razors in the bathroom. The reason for that is because all that humidity in the air will settle down to anything. So next time you take a shower, you know, take your shower, go get dressed, and then come back and run your finger over the counter or the top of the faucet. You know, you'll feel moisture there. All that moisture in the air comes down and it settles on everything. It'll do the same thing on your razors, especially if you store them an edge up type of deal like I do. All that moisture settles on those razor edges, and it sits there until it dries naturally. So even if you dried the edge off properly before you stored it, and then you store it, you went, you know, hit the fan in the bathroom or open the window, whatever you do to get the moisture out, all that moisture goes right back to that edge and sits on it and will corrode it. Okay? So always store your razors outside of the bathroom. This right here is, I think I'll bring you in a little bit closer. I think it's a fairly cool little stand. I picked it up on eBay for, oh, I don't know, $5, something like that. No, it was a package deal, and there was I think there was 2 of them, along with, you know, an old strop and some other things. And like I said, it was $5, so I mean, I'm pretty sure that you can buy or build something fairly similar to this one. This one is kind of cool. It folds down, although I've never really folded it down. I always just leave it like this. It's set for the vintage razors. You can put them edge down in there, but for my razors, you know, I have fairly large hands, and so I kind of like a substantial razor, you know, so I've got something to hold on to. It won't fit down in the middle there, and if it does, the edge might contact these little posts, so I just store them edge up, and this one goes here. So anyway, so these are the 5 razors that I use pretty much every day. I've got 3 of mine, one in 440C stainless, one of the first ones I ever made in 1095 in olive wood, another one in 1095 and cocobolo, and then a new production Dovo best quality. And then from looking on the internet, as far as I can tell, this is 100-year-old-ish crop. And so I don't shave with these 2 very often at all. They're more like controls, you know, or, you know, just sometimes it's cool in the morning to shave with a razor that was built over 100 years ago. So these are the ones that I shave with just about every day. And the last time any of these touched a stone was late February, right after I got the stereo microscope and was able to really look at the edges and put really nice ones on. I know I've put 2 of them to a chromium oxide treated strop once since then, and I think that was the stainless one and the older 1095 one. This one, I don't believe it's touched anything but linen and leather since the end of February. So March, April, May, June, midway through July, so 4.5 months. I guess that's pretty good. So anyway, so now that we've gone over storing these outside of the bathroom, and I've kind of introduced mine, the neat little stand and everything, now I'm going to go over my post-shave routine for these. And it's been working really, really good. So I'm going to back you out a little bit so that you can see my strop. My strop is a English bridle. I got it from Straight Razor Designs. Lynn carries just about anything you would ever need for wet shaving. This one's English bridle, 3-inch wide, 20 inches long or so on one side, and then it's got his premium fabric on the other side, and then I treat the inside of that with his spray chromium oxide. And of course it gets on the underside of the leather also. Okay, so let's take this one out because I like it quite a bit. So I've gone ahead and actually let me move you up a little bit. About like that, I think. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I finished out my shave. You know, whatever cream or soap that I was using, doesn't really matter. Finished my shave, my face is all nice and smooth. The razor will be wet, the blade, definitely so. The scales might have a little bit of moisture on them from, you know, my hands. My face is still wet, and my hands are wet. Okay, so if you've never done hand stropping before, practice this with a butter knife or a popsicle stick or something like that before you try it with your razor, because I mean, I've been doing it for a long time, so it doesn't seem to me to be a dangerous thing to do, but invariably I tell somebody to do it and they'll move wrong and slice their hand open. So anyway, so what you do when you palm strop is you're using this part of your hand right here, the heel of your hand. Okay, it's fairly fleshy. If you pull your fingers back, it's a fairly tight surface. Okay, so what you do is you place the razor on your hand with the spine first, and then roll it down until the side of the edge bevel contacts, and then always pull away from the edge, like so. It's just like stropping on your strop, only you're using the palm of your hand. Okay, so once I get done with my shave, the edge of that razor, if you look at it underneath magnification, it's going to have bits and pieces of skin, hair, soap, a little bit of blood sometimes, you know, if you had a pimple or, you know, a high spot. Even if you didn't cut yourself, if you look underneath the microscope, you will find that sort of stuff on the edge. So before you take the razor to your strop, clean it with your palm stropping first. Okay, because then, you know, you can go ahead and strop this, you know, 5 or 6 times, you know, and that'll take the majority of the gunk off of the edge of your razor. Then you can wash your hands, which are way easier to wash than the linen on the strop. Okay, so you finish your shave. Before you dry off the razor and your hands are still wet and everything, go ahead and give that razor, you know, 5 or 6 strops on each side. Okay, then once it's clean, rinse your hand off. I did not grab a towel. Here, I'll grab a shop towel. Then you'll want to dry off the sides of the blade. So lay it down in, you know, between your fingers, and then just clean the tang. You can clean around the outside of the tang. Clean the sides of the blade up fairly close to your edge bevels, but don't go up into your edge bevels, okay? Because that towel will damage your edge also. You can get the toe, and then wipe down your scales. Wyoming is very dry, so things, or at least where I'm at here in Cheyenne, it's very dry, very low humidity. So things typically dry out pretty quickly outside of the bathroom. So I don't really bother about cleaning the inside of the scales. If you've got high humidity at your place, you might consider doing that, you know, just run your towel up inside the scales. But anyway, so you clean the outside, or dry off the outside off of it, towel it off. Then what you want to do is I give it about 10 strops on each side on the linen side. And what that does is the heat that is generated from the friction between the edge and the strop material, that will dry the edge off better than anything else that I've found. Now if you notice when I'm stropping, you know, I'm holding this taut but not tight. You want it to have just a little bit of flex in there. Okay, so 10 strops or so, drop it down, fold up your razor. Even on ones that I know center really well, I always like to guide them closed because, you know, knowing my luck, the first time that I, you know, just did it without looking, it'd catch the side. Anyways, and then go ahead and store it in your stand outside of the bathroom until the next day that you want to shave. Then the next day that you want to shave, you can go ahead and pull it back out. Now you know it was dried properly, so there should be no corrosion on that edge. So then I typically don't do the linen before my shave. I'll go straight to the leather, and I'll give it, you know, 30, 40 on each side. Just about this speed, you know, I don't really go all that fast. And as long as your stropping technique is pretty good and you don't have accidents, you know, where you hit the faucet or the side of the sink, or nobody else is getting to your razor and, you know, using it to open mail or anything like that, the corrosion and improper drying and storage of the razor is what I've found degrades an edge faster than anything. So anyway, so if you're having problems, or even if you're not, try this routine out and see if it works for you. Like I said, I hope to be doing, well, let me check the time. We have 5 minutes left, so I'll just sit here and babble for a little bit. So like I said, I hope to be doing some more razor videos here pretty soon. I've only been shaving with a straight since August or September, something like that. So not quite a full year yet. And so in one way, you know, I kind of wonder, you know, how much better I'll get at it over the next decade or so. But in another way, I think it might be a really good time to make these videos because all of it's still fresh in my head. You know, I mean, I really remember tearing the heck out of my face while I was, you know, learning how to shave with a straight. And what my biggest problems were, getting to the point where I am now, which, you know, I can do a nice comfortable, I usually do 2.5 passes. Now I don't shave my mustache or goatee, but so I do with the grain all the way down, and then against the grain this way up on my cheeks, and then I usually do against the grain this way up underneath my neck, and then the half a pass is just kind of touch-ups, usually right up here in the hollows underneath my neck. Usually there's a couple of stragglers in there that I, you know, have to go back that last half a pass to be able to pick up. And so I remember, boy, tearing my face up and having to wait a week before I could shave again because it was, you know, I'd pushed it too far. Either didn't get the razor sharp and smooth enough, or, you know, I was trying a different soap and wasn't getting the soap to water mixture down right. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes together shaving with a straight. But once you get it, it's really enjoyable. Like this last couple of weeks, I've been, like I said, a couple of really big projects outside of the shop, and so I've only been shaving twice a week for the last 3 weeks. And, you know, I mean, if I was to do that with like a cartridge razor, you'd spend half the time, you know, cleaning the cartridge razor out, you know, getting all that hair out in between each blade. With these straight razors, it doesn't seem to matter if you shaved yesterday or if you shaved a month ago or if you shaved 10 years ago. You know, they don't really care. They just plow right through everything that's there and give you a smooth, comfortable shave anyway, as long as you treat them right. And like I said, this aftershave routine is the best I've found so far. So give it a shot, or give parts of it a shot. See if you like it. If you do, leave a comment. You know, talk to your other shaving buddies about it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.